Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about 7 candidates that could replace offensive coordinator Scott Linehan. This serious? Camo time, baby. All right, so why are we talking about this subject? Because it's reared its ugly head again. 0 points against the Colts. Complete disaster. They couldn't move the ball. No adjustments in that game. So, you know, with that comes the criticism, and it's just been the same kind of topics, all year round. To be quite honest, we've already talked about this, during the season. It was even talked about during the bye week that it was being considered, and then there was the whole conversation with Jason Garrett saying that he was the offensive coordinator for now. So that kind of left the door open for, there's something going on there behind the scenes that they're not quite pleased with, and for good reason. You have weapons here. They look good occasionally, and then and sometimes you have these play calls that just make you scratch your head, like what are they doing here? Like especially in the red zone. All right, that has killed us all year long, and it's just something that's going to keep happening. This isn't something that they're going to be able to fix for the run of the playoffs. They're gonna face some big adversity here in the playoffs. Not scoring in the red zone is probably gonna kill you. I don't know how far you can get in the playoffs with that kind of offensive stagnation. You can't be stagnant like that in the red zone, and the Cowboys keep doing it. So let's get right into this list here. All right, now let me preface this by saying that these are a list of names that I think the Cowboys would consider. Honestly, all right. So whatever you hear from this list, don't come at me saying, "Hey, this is stupid." This guy has nothing to do. It shouldn't be on this list. I'm looking at this from the Cowboys' point of view, what I think that they would do. Okay, so without further ado, the first candidate here to replace Scott Linehan, Cliff Kingsbury. All right, so he just got released, fired from Texas Tech. A very high potent offense. And one of the young minds that has garnered a lot of attention from the rest of the NFL. He's being kind of grabbed from here and there, and even still in the college ranks. So he hasn't made a decision here yet. I think he's weighing his options, but I think it would be a good idea here to bring him here to Dallas to bring some fresh air in here, some college-themed schemes. That's what the Cowboys need. That's what Dak needs. Somebody that's going to really utilize Dak Prescott's skill set, all right? And that includes his legs, all right? The RPO. What in the world is wrong with Scott Linehan? They just don't do it enough, And when they do, they're pretty successful. You're keeping the defense on their heels. Is Dak going to run? Is he going to give it to Zeke? Is he going to fake it to Zeke and pass? I mean, it opens up a lot of stuff, right? And Scott Linehan just stubborn, all right? And that marriage, there needs to be a divorce there, that's it. So Cliff Kingsbury, number one of my, and this isn't in any kind of order, all right? This is just my top 7, all right? Number 2, Norv Turner, all right? Let's see what happens here with Carolina. Do they bring him back? Does he want to stay there? Does he want to keep coaching Cam Newton? Cam Newton is kind of hard to work with, it looks like, but he has turned around his game, and he's good at working with quarterbacks. And I think the thing about Norv Turner is it's not this whole thing about his system is outdated and it's the 90s and this and that. Don't believe that false narrative. That's not what it is. That's not what Norv Turner is. That's the base of his offensive scheme. But what Norv Turner really excels in, where he's had a lot of success, is, molding the offense around the strengths of that quarterback. So with Cam Newton, you're seeing him utilize him more. You're seeing some RPOs from him, using his legs and that kind of thing. He would be a perfect fit for Dak Prescott, so he's on my list, all right? Number 3, Tony Romo. All right, this might be a surprise for some. And I've seen the name kicked around here and there. Tony Romo would bring a fresh mind. He knows how to read defenses. He'll be in Dak Prescott's ear, and I think he can freshen up this offense. Tony Romo is really good with understanding the different offensive schemes throughout the league. If you've ever heard him, commentate a game, especially the AFC or the Chiefs or whatever, you know what he's talking. He knows what he's talking about. He's like one of the best, if not in commentating. So how much is he getting paid right now versus how much would he get paid for offensive coordinator? Would this even be on the table? For me, kick the tires on that. Jason Garrett, see, hey, Tony Romo, do you want to come in here and call the plays for us? We need help. All right, we're hiring. Do you want to help us for this amount of money? Clearly, he still loves football. And what better way than to come back home, as you could say, and help this Cowboys offense get back on track? Because right now we're battling too much, man. We're battling way too much. It looks very difficult for us to still move the ball, and you got to conjure up other ways. That was the thing I talked about in my pregame. I knew that they were going to shut down Amari Cooper, and like I said, the Cowboys were going to have to rely on other people to help out, and Scott Linehan didn't have an answer. Cole Beasley couldn't get Cole Beasley going in the game. He couldn't get Gallup going. Couldn't really get the tight ends going. It was a bad game, but still, you got to have backup plans, and Scott Linehan just doesn't have that. He didn't have it at any of his other stops, and this was another location that didn't really work out. Right, so Tony Romo, keep an eye on that one. Number 4, Mike Kafka. He is the quarterbacks coach for the Chiefs, and a young guy for the Chiefs, and I think he would be a good fit here. If you're talking about spicing up that offense with some new schemes, you could do that. Now, the only thing about Kafka, he might be more West Coast based, obviously, because he's Andy Reid. Would the Cowboys want to do that? Would they bring in a coordinator that is more West Coast based, or would they be able to, let him have his own playbook and get that thing going? All right, so I think that's one name to keep an eye on. My number 5 guy is going to be Bill Musgrave. All right, Bill Musgrave, offensive coordinator. Right now, he's had success here in the league. I think he will be available after we see some head coaches, relieved of their duties. This one we're talking about Denver. So, and he does have some ties to the Cowboys. The Cowboys did draft him back in the early 90s, and I actually got his autograph in training camp back at St. Edward's University back in the day. So, way back in time, but that's a name to keep an eye on. He's had success with quarterbacks, elevated their play to actually get them into the Pro Bowl. So this guy is kind of like a low-key quarterback whisperer. So Bill Musgrave is my number 5 guy to keep an eye out on. All right, number 6, Freddie Kitchens, Cleveland's offensive coordinator right now. He took over after Hugh got kicked out of there, and Todd Haley, they both got fired at the same time. Freddie Kitchens took over. All right, so he's got that offense rolling. He's able to utilize the strengths of Mayfield, and that's what you're looking for in an offensive coordinator. Someone that's going to utilize the strengths of the quarterback. Why is that so difficult for Scott Linehan? Who the hell is still defending Scott Linehan right now? Let me know if you know anybody that's still defending Scott Linehan. If you do, tell them to look themselves in the mirror and slap themselves in the face, because at this point, you're just not going to win with Scott Linehan and Dak Prescott. Those two, they're not working out. All right, so Freddie Kitchens also has some history here with the Cowboys. He was Cowboys tight end coach in 2006. All right, before Wade Phillips and Jason Garrett came here. All right, and when Garrett came in here, offensive coordinator, before they even hired Phillips, he brought his brother in here to coach the tight ends, and Martellus Bennett and all these guys. So keep an eye on that one. My number 7 is, would they go in-house? All right. Now this one would be the most hated one probably, but well, maybe not. But would they just say, Jason Garrett, you're gonna go ahead and take over the play calls for this season? All right. You're one of the the bright minds of the offense. You know, he had the team rolling here with T.O. and these guys back when he was the OC with the Cowboys with Wade Phillips. Did they give him the playbook? Did they let him go ahead and call the plays? All right. The other one here, the most hated choice probably here, Kellen Moore. Will the Cowboys have this continued obsession with Kellen Moore in thinking that he's one of the future bright minds of the NFL? If so, what if they made him offensive coordinator? How many people would be throwing up right now at that? All right. I'm just telling you guys right now, be ready for that. I don't see that happening. I personally do not advocate that, all right? I don't. But remember, what I'm talking about here is what the Cowboys might do. And you know how the Cowboys are. This is something that they would do. You know, they like to go in-house with their promotions. You know, Ben Bloom got promoted, and some of these other guys. So that would be the least popular and really wouldn't, you know, get the fan base energized whatsoever. So that I don't think would happen at all. But you know, if you see that name being brought up during the interview process, just be ready for that. All right, that's what I think the Cowboys would do. Not what I would do, but that's what I think the Cowboys would do. So again, looking over this list: Cliff Kingsbury, Norv Turner, Tony Romo, Mike Kafka from Kansas City, Bill Musgrave, Freddie Kitchens, or the in-house options, you know, Garrett or Kellen Moore. Lincoln Riley, he's not in my list. I think if you bring in Lincoln Riley, you're not bringing him in as the offensive coordinator. You would, in fact, be bringing him in to replace Jason Garrett. So that's why he's not on this list, in case anybody's wondering. Now, let me know in the comments, guys, who you think the Cowboys would hire, or who would you want the Cowboys to hire? Okay, I gave you a list of offensive coordinators I think the Cowboys would hire. Okay, but let me know what you guys think of that list. Let me know of any players, I mean any other coaches that you would like the Cowboys to bring in here to replace Scott Linehan. Let me know in the comments. And as usual, guys, continue to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you for the next video. Thanks, guys. Peace.